Shalom, my friends. For thousands of years, kingdoms rose and fell, empires disappeared, borders changed, wars destroyed cities. But one thing survived through all of it: Jewish education. Not armies, not political power, education. Books carried across exile, wisdom passed from parents to children, questions asked around dinner tables, teachings preserved generation after generation. And because of this, many people throughout history began asking, why has Jewish culture placed such extraordinary importance on learning? Tonight, we explore the power of Jewish education and how it shaped resilience, discipline, business success, intellectual achievement, and survival itself. Because perhaps the greatest Jewish inheritance was never land or money, but the mind. To understand Jewish education, we must understand history. For long periods of history, Jewish communities lived with uncertainty. Families moved between countries. Political systems changed. Communities faced restrictions and hardship. In unstable worlds, physical wealth could disappear quickly, but knowledge could travel anywhere. A person forced to leave home could still carry skills, wisdom, languages, trade knowledge, and education. This created a powerful psychological idea: invest in what cannot be stolen. That mindset transformed education from a luxury into survival itself. And perhaps this is why learning became sacred. In Jewish tradition, studying is deeply respected. Learning is not viewed only as preparation for work. It is considered a lifelong responsibility. Children are encouraged to ask questions. Why? Because questioning develops understanding. A curious mind becomes stronger. And this created generations of people trained not only to memorize, but to think critically. In many Jewish traditions, debate and discussion are encouraged. A student may challenge ideas, analyze deeply, ask why repeatedly. This develops intellectual independence. And intellectually independent people often adapt better to difficult environments. In many homes, wealth was uncertain, but books became priceless. Imagine this: some families owned very little, yet protected books like treasure. Why? Because books contained survival, knowledge about law, business, faith, history, ethics, language, and human nature. Education became a form of invisible wealth. A poor person with wisdom could rebuild, but a wealthy person without wisdom could lose everything. And this principle still matters today. Knowledge changes psychology. A person who understands the world fears it less. Education creates confidence because understanding reduces uncertainty. When people understand finance, communication, law, science, or business, they see opportunities others miss. And historically, many Jewish communities encourage children to become skilled thinkers, not passive followers. Thinkers. This mindset helped people adapt across different industries and societies. One fascinating aspect of Jewish education is the importance of questions. Many cultures focus heavily on giving answers, but Jewish learning traditions often celebrate questioning itself because questions sharpen the mind. A child who asks, "Why does this happen? What does this mean? How can this improve?" develops analytical thinking. And analytical thinking is powerful in business, science, finance, leadership, and problem solving. Many successful entrepreneurs and innovators share this exact trait. Curiosity. Modern society often rewards appearance, luxury, status, attention. But historically, many Jewish families emphasized learning more than showing off. A person respected for wisdom often held greater honor than a person showing wealth publicly. This creates a different mindset. Instead of spending money trying to look successful, people invest in becoming valuable. And becoming valuable creates long-term opportunity. Perhaps one of the most powerful aspects of Jewish education is this: knowledge was passed down intentionally. Parents taught children, grandparents shared stories, communities preserved traditions. This created continuity across generations. And psychologically, this is extremely powerful, because many people today inherit money, but not discipline, information, but not wisdom. Jewish educational traditions often focus not only on intelligence, but on values, responsibility, discipline, ethics, patience, community. And values shape how knowledge is used. Throughout history, educated communities often recovered faster after hardship. Why? Because skills create adaptability. A person with knowledge can learn new systems, start businesses, solve problems, communicate effectively, and rebuild after failure. Education becomes protection against uncertainty. And perhaps that is why learning became emotionally connected to survival itself. Now here is the important part. The power of Jewish education is not limited to one religion or ethnicity. The deeper lesson is universal. Societies that value learning become stronger. Families that value education create opportunity. Individuals who keep learning remain adaptable. And in the modern world, this matters more than ever. Technology changes constantly. Industries disappear. Skills become outdated quickly. People who stop learning become vulnerable. But curious minds continue growing. But Jewish wisdom also teaches something deeper. True education is not only information, it is character. Because an intelligent person without ethics can become dangerous. Wisdom requires humility, discipline, responsibility, and moral judgment. The goal was never simply producing smart people. The goal was producing wise people. And wisdom is far rarer than intelligence. So what is the real power of Jewish education? It created resilience, adaptability, critical thinking, long-term survival, discipline, and strong communities. But perhaps most importantly, it taught generations to value the mind more than appearances. Because money can disappear, power can disappear, but wisdom can rebuild everything. My friends, there is an old Jewish idea. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Knowledge grows when shared. And perhaps the greatest legacy a person can leave behind is not wealth alone, but wisdom passed to the next generation. Thank you for listening. Shalom.